It's Monday, January 28th. This is PSN News. Tonight we'll bring you more on the shooting that happened Thursday night in downtown State College, as well as the new Penn State National Center for Greek Life Research and Reform.
We'll also have more on the University Park Student Fee Board hearing, as well as details on the government reopening and what this now means to the people who were affected by the shutdown. Stay tuned.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Sebastien Kraft.
And I'm Mesogitis.
Local activist group Standing at the Gates for Justice held a vigil downtown today at 4 p.m. in front of the Allen Street gates for victims of the recent shooting in State College. 4 State College area residents died Thursday night after a shooting at a bar in the local Ramada Hotel and a local residence. 21-year-old Bellefonte resident Jordan Whitmer killed 4, including himself, on Thursday night. Penn State students took to social media to voice their disapproval when the university failed to issue an alert pertaining to the shooting. A university spokesperson initially stated that the incident did not meet the criteria for such alerts, given it did not take place on Penn State-owned property or public property within striking distance of campus. The university modified its statement to assert that campus police evaluate such incidents specifically prior to the release of an alert in accordance with the Clery Act of 1990. This act states that universities tied to federal financial aid programs must publicly reveal their campus crime statistics.
Friday morning, the University Park Student Fee Board heard allocation requests from the University Park Allocation Committee and Penn State Office of Student Activities. According to UPAC Chair Dan Stauffer, there have been significant changes to UPAC's budget in comparison to last year's. UPAC is held accountable for funding various student-run organizations, including the Student Programming Association, which requested a $30,000 increase in budget, addition of a large-scale comedian for the fall of 2019 schedule. Board Chair Tyler Ackers says organizations have been increasing and the board will be thinking critically about these requests.
Penn State President Eric Barron announced on Tuesday that plans for the Timothy J. Piazza Center for Fraternity and Sorority Research and Reform are underway. The new National Center will seek to more profoundly assess the details and consequences of fraternity and sorority life on campus. Piazza died in a February 2017 hazing incident at Beta Theta Pi that cast doubt over the legitimacy of Greek life rituals on campuses across the nation. Penn State has devoted $2 million to the new center's establishment and hopes to raise $3 million more in private funds to increase Greek life research and reform.
After 2 years with Penn State Police, Chief Keith Morris announced his resignation from his post on Friday. Morris, a Penn State alumnus, was appointed Chief of Police at Penn State University Park in 2017. Chief Morris served on President Barron's Greek Life Response Team and oversaw 22 campuses as part of his job as Chief of Police Operations. Morris says he values his time on the Penn State force and will take this time off to pursue other opportunities and spend time with his family.
Stay tuned because after the break, Kylie Dahowski will bring you the latest in entertainment news.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Kylie Dahowski with your entertainment update. Thanks to Penn State Student Programming Association, R&B pop artist Tinashe will be performing here on campus. The concert will be held next Thursday, February 7th, in the Alumni Hall in the Hub. Even better, the concert will be free for students with a valid Penn State ID. Tinashe is best known for her debut single, 2 On, and her collaboration with Snakehips and Chance the Rapper called All My Friends. She has also released multiple mixtapes and 2 studio albums called Aquarius and Joyride. The singer-songwriter has worked with many artists on songs from Young Thug to Chris Brown to Britney Spears. She has also toured with Katy Perry, Nicki Minaj, and Maroon 5 as the opening act. Penn State Infusion held its 7th annual Penn State's Best Dance Crew in Schwab Auditorium this past Saturday. 7 teams performed, including Orchesis, KPMD, Whiplash, Outkast, Penn State Sher Bhangra, Urban Dance Troupe, and Penn State Natya. Urban Dance Troupe, the first student-run hip-hop team from the Altoona campus, took the second-place trophy. Their routine was based on the ongoing feud between female rappers Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. First place went to Penn State Natya, an Indian classical dance team, with their performance about the 5 stages of grief. Not only did they win a trophy, but Penn State Natya will perform in the Infusion Show. The intercollegiate dance competition will take place in Eisenhower Auditorium on March 16th and will feature 9 other teams from across the country. Last night's Screen Actors Guild Awards offered a lot of memorable moments. Black Panther won Best Ensemble, which was the first time a superhero movie has won a major SAG award. Rami Malek won Best Actor and was given a big hug by Bradley Cooper, who was also nominated for the award for his role in A Star is Born. Glenn Close won Best Actress for her role in The Wife, a surprise victory over Lady Gaga in A Star is Born. Amazon's hit show The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel took home 3 awards, including Best Comedy, Best Actress for star Rachel Brosnahan, and Best Actor for Tony Shalhoub for the role of her father. Other memorable moments include Patricia Arquette praising Robert Mueller and Cosby Show star Jeffrey Owens addressing reports from September that he is currently working at Trader Joe's. That's your entertainment update. Stay tuned because after this break, Noah Chast has the latest in sports.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Noah Chast with your sports update. Ranked number 1 in the country, Penn State Wrestling took down Indiana on Saturday, January 27th at the Hoosier Stadium. The Lions won all but one of their bouts, including a first-time Big Ten dual victory for sophomore Devin Schnupp. Penn State dominated the duel from the start, finishing with a 23-1 takedown advantage and a 35-9 win. Bo Nickel, Jason Nolf, and Vincenzo Joseph each had pins in their match, backing up their number 1 ranking. This is Penn State's 54th straight win dating back to the 2014-15 season. Their next match is February 1st in the Bryce Jordan Center against Big Ten rival University of Michigan. Penn State's men's basketball lost another tight game on Saturday in their annual Thon game against Rutgers. Lamar Stevens had a game-high 21 points and 8 rebounds, but a timely 3 from Rutgers gave them the late lead and the eventual 64-60 win. The game had 8 ties and 5 lead changes in the second half, with the Lions fighting hard till the end. Penn State is now 0-9 against Big Ten teams and 7-13 overall. Over 13,000 fans showed up for the game, with all the proceeds going directly to Thon. The next game is Thursday, January 31st at home against Purdue. This Sunday, February 3rd, is Super Bowl 53, with the New England Patriots facing off against the Los Angeles Rams. This will be the Patriots' 3rd straight trip to the Super Bowl and their 9th since 2001. The Rams' young head coach and quarterback duo of Sean McVay and Jared Goff will have their hands full against the experienced Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. The Patriots are currently 2.5-point favorites, yet the Rams are confident in their team and their ability to win close games. The Rams are coming off a controversial win over the Saints, while the Patriots are riding an impressive overtime win against the Chiefs. The game kicks off Sunday at 6:30 in the new Mercedes-Benz Arena in Atlanta. That was your sports update. We'll bring your local weather forecast after the break. Stay tuned.
From the students of Penn State Meteorology, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
After a relatively clear and calm start to our work week, Central Pennsylvania is in for a big shift in the next few days. I'm student meteorologist Vivian Rennie, and here is a look at today's forecast. As we look at those weather headlines, winter weather will be returning in the next few hours and sticking around for a few days, and with that change is going to come some extreme cold temperatures, feeling even colder than it was last week. That feels possible at this point. This will start to clear into the weekend, though, with some warmer temperatures moving back into our area for another clear and calm weekend. For tonight's forecast, 25 degrees, much warmer than we've been seeing recently, and much warmer than we'll be seeing later in the week. But snow will start to return in those early morning hours. Around 4 a.m. is when we're going to start to see the first flakes really accumulating in State College. Winds coming from the south at 6 to 8 miles an hour. As we look into tomorrow, those flakes are going to continue to be in our area for those morning hours, getting up to 34 degrees in the afternoon. This is going to feel very welcome, especially before what we will be seeing in the next few days. Winds coming from the southwest at 5 miles an hour. As we look at this snowstorm moving into our area, we are already starting to see those first high clouds. That is going to be that indication that this storm is already about to be upon us. We're going to see the majority of the accumulation starting after 4 in the morning
here in State College as this large band of snow is going to be moving into our area, covering much of the Commonwealth, but not depositing too much accumulation. We're going to be seeing less than a half an inch of accumulation here in State College. As we look at that 7-day forecast, our snow is going to really be tucked away in this first end of the forecast, 34 degrees before as that moves out of the area, dropping down to only 5 degrees on Tuesday night. And that cold air is going to be sticking around for a few days, getting only up to 11 degrees on Wednesday and 7 degrees on Thursday. These are temperatures you're going to want to minimize your time outside, especially in those evening hours and those early mornings, especially when we're going to be down to only -7 degrees here in State College. It's going to stay cold for a few days before clearing skies will bring up those temperatures quite substantially, getting up to 19, 24, and then finally up to the 30s on Sunday, 32 degrees. And that's going to be a welcome break after the rough middle of the week we're going to have here in Central Pennsylvania. I'm student meteorologist Vivian Rennie from the Penn State Campus Weather Service.
President Trump agreed to reopen the federal government on Friday after a 5-week shutdown. Congressional leaders were on hand as Trump signed a spending bill to allow the government to reopen for 3 weeks. The president did specify in a subsequent speech that he was prepared to renew the shutdown on February 15th if Congress refuses to allocate the $5.7 billion he requested for a new concrete border wall. He also stated that he is prepared to use his constitutional powers to potentially declare a national emergency.
Michael Cohen, President Trump's former lawyer, is delaying his public testimony in Congress. Cohen was expected to appear before the House Oversight Committee on February 7th, but plans have since changed due to alleged ongoing threats against Cohen's family from President Trump and his legal team. House Oversight Committee Chairman Elijah Cummings said he was disappointed in the delay, but both Cummings and House Intelligence Committee Adam Schiff understand the concerns expressed by Cohen. Cohen, who currently holds 9 felony counts due to his work on Trump's 2016 presidential campaign, is expected to appear before both committees. Cohen is scheduled to report to prison on March 9th.
Roger Stone, a former campaign advisor to President Trump, was arrested and charged Friday amid special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian election interference in the 2016 presidential election. Stone was a longtime Republican tied to the WikiLeaks hacking of the Democratic National Committee's emails in 2016. Numerous federal agents arrested him at his home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He was then charged with obstruction of justice, giving false statements, and tampering with witnesses.
The FDA say they have found cancer-causing impurities that have been in both bottles of blood pressure and heart failure medications, including valsartan, losartan, and irbesartan. The FDA warns patients that other medications will soon fall to shortage. The number of patients affected by these impurities still remains unknown, but FDA leaders estimate 1 to 2 million people may have consumed these impurities. For now, the FDA says drug manufacturers will continue to test their products to assure patients access to these medications in the short term.
And that's all for tonight on PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter at PSN News. Thank you for joining us.